happen today, and then we'll take it from there. So first of all, this is really as open as it can be, so there are no specific rules. I'll just explain what there is available for us to use. So as you can see, this tablecloth is specifically designed and thought by Nivas and Ben and Sonia and I, and you are very welcome to use your pens and document anything that happens in this meeting, so that we can maybe in the bazaar in Prague next year we can exhibit and get some money out of it. There is a lot of food available, so you can eat as much as you like, but be considerate. The other thing is that we have 3 couples that would like to speak about their work or show their work or tell us their ideas, and we decided with Ben that we could have the 40 minutes per couple maximum. You don't have to use all your 40 minutes, it might be 5 minutes or 20 minutes, or you might want to take some time from another couple so that we do not go more than 2 hours so that our brains do not explode. But if we feel like after this meeting to have a drink, somewhere else and continue the conversation, that is a possibility. We haven't thought of an order, which couple to come first and which couple to come second, and this is part also of the experience that we wanted to have, because we couldn't take any decision on that on our own.
And every couple can decide if they want to have a feedback session about the work or if they don't want to have it, but for time-wise, this should be inside of this 40 minutes.
So, are there any thoughts or ideas of which couple would like to start? We only know that Sonia and Nivas will need us to take... Please switch off your mobile phones. They need us to take the table away so that they can perform on stage. So, this is a consideration we need to do when we want to do it, now or later. What about you, ladies? When would you like to present or talk?
For me. You will talk.
Yeah, we will talk.
I think it's great we do this.
And we'll also talk and then we do
ask.
Okay.
But you can start now.
Okay. Okay. Unless there is somebody else who would like also to say something before we start.
I got a question. My record is sound.
Yes,
Yeah, the agreement is we record, we take photos, we take audio, everything, but then we have to get their approval before we publish. That's the rule.
Yeah, you also can take your phones, and please do so. Take your phones and your photos and all, take pictures and do all the documents.
So what you need is to record. Don't turn off your phone.
Okay.
Make them silent.
That's video and you are?
I'm sorry.
And you were the
my mistake. No, William is William Dobrowski, and he's from the company The Farm in the Cave, but he's working with Adina and Vigida as the coach.
And girls SMS me. I get SMS me, and everyone was calling me and they asked me if I come.
Yeah.
And because we were missing each other, they decided to come, and I was on a meeting with Anna, she's a member of our company. So when I was very contented, she used to come very often and performed here sometimes. So I said I think it will be fine if I'm not. Is here anyone who is not okay? Okay, Anna, let's go.
Is this recording or you?
Now it's recording.
But maybe it's fair to say that
It's
everyone
making.
is here for the first time, that the Identity.Move project, the idea of the project is to give artistic couples from 15 different countries, from the Baltic all the way down to the Mediterranean, to Greece, the opportunity to work in pairs. And it can be a choreographer or a dancer or a physical theater artist and anyone. And some of the people came forward already as pairs, already knowing who they want to work with. And some people came forward as like a free agent, saying, I'm open to being paired with someone else. And all of these people have opportunity through this project to research. There's no expectation for a final product that would be called performance. Maybe that's a possible opening for a piece about Lithuanian Soviet era, or just that switch at that time when things switched. Maybe that points the way to the fact that it will be a more, it could be a piece that could be more, have a wider audience than just a Lithuanian audience. It's not just a Lithuanian subject, that's all. It could have a
We were talking about that as well, like
Yeah.
like how to do the piece which is not considered Lithuanian, about Lithuanian women, but want to do this theme like more universal.
Yes,
But
it's recognizable.
I would almost really want to see a Lithuanian piece.
Come
Not
Lithuania.
because, because anyway, like there's something about like grand narratives, and there's an attempt to like decipher them and see how people deal, and there's a personal interest in it, which also sounds like about deconstruction and not about construction of another narrative. So there, like from the feeling of it. And also like I grew up, or my mother grew up in socialism. It was very different socialism than the Soviet socialism you grew up in, and
Excuse me, you're from Germany?
I'm from, no, I'm from Croatia.
No, sorry.
No, but East Germany, no?
But East
But
Germany
that would be super hard. That would be like maybe
No, it
even more
was also,
hardcore. Yeah.
socialism, no? In East Germany.
Yeah, true. No, just also like the East Germany I consider very hard. So Soviet socialism. And Croatia because of Yugoslavia and Tito,
Yeah.
and they stepped out of the
Yeah.
Soviet bloc. So somehow we had a
Different.
live sponsored by by America socialism, but still, I told you like there are artists, feminist artists who have been dealing with this topic through the history. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Like I have a slightly different history, but I really would be very interested in a specific point of view than like trying to make a generalist, like a more general point of view. And also because of what he said, like this like industrialization is something which belonged to the beginning of previous century, and how it like shows in the body is something we can it's nice to be able to understand it differently, to say like, aha, this happened there, but it also happened in the West. Or when you talked about this image of Dior and babushkas, I was interested in like what kind of opposite image you could find of a Western woman hiding behind her like cleaning props, expensive cleaning props from the commercials, from like the Susan Sontag image of a woman who like thinks and talk, or from East European women who, I don't know, you could think of like birth control, which was differently allowed. Like there have been things that women in socialism were maybe more encouraged at than women in the West. So I think it's actually interesting that that it's not one narrative, that it's a specific narrative, and that then by like being clear about what element it is, then I think people can recognize themselves even if they're not from Lithuania or from socialism or even women. Like
I think there is also this other thing that you can also define yourself by negation. So in a sense, if you only spoke about Western women, you will be able to identify what a communist woman would look like. And the opposite, by identifying only post-communist or only communist women, you can identify what Western women is. And so maybe just looking at the other side, as many people have already said, would actually help you to define even more so the post-communist woman. Like Marie would be a really great example. She has this massive Russian, all this money, you know, and she's come over in this country, taking over again over by the, you know, the Soviets. So in a sense, there is a, sorry, not the Soviets, but the communist government. So there is something interesting also going on with her now after that.
Where do you want to go with that? Like, do you know that? What the piece could be like? Do you have any ideas about this?
Yeah,
or-
5 men on stage.
Pardon?
5 men on stage.
In the middle of the city.
It's the scene what you're seeing, you know, identified
Through the hour.
Yeah, I
From the other
wasn't.
side.
You win? How old are you?
Why do you keep that?
You were
Look
on
at
the
the
spot, you know,
presentation.
yeah. You were, you know, you seem to be chosen for the casting.
No, we want to be like all
I'm
the
not 50 yet.
actors or dancers.
We can open up.
But maybe next year you are?
No.
No.
Not. I'm holding on to it. I'm 46.
Okay,
Why?
so
Is it, but you said it's supposed to be Lithuanian specific.
So what we are doing now research with, and also with interviews with the
Oh.
Czech woman, so
Oh.
for the presentation. Just
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yes, we can talk after the meeting.
5 minutes.
We'll talk about how much I get paid.
What kind
From
of
our
budget
budget.
do we have? No, I mean, yes, five men on stage so far.
Just?
Differently.
don't continue negotiations with your contract.
Ben, did I answer your question?
No.
No.
But that's okay. Yeah,
No, but it's just the beginning.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
Because
I don't expect you to know, but only if you know, I would be interested
I
because
think you know more than
starting.
I
So you don't have to say.
Okay,
Mm.
okay.
Because we were also, did we? Try to stop ourselves by saying, okay, it's research, no, right now. We
Okay.
do not have to think like crazy only about the product,
Yeah.
only about the piece later on. Of course we don't. But,
That's really fine, no? We just want, if maybe you have already.
Yeah, we have some more ideas, but I think it's just a bit too.
I totally understand. Yeah, yeah.
No, it's 2 fingers together. Good luck.
Let's move the table.